Good evening, everybody. How's life this glorious Thursday? You ready to talk cookies, specifically Oreos? Oh no, can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. It showed that nobody was here, and I'm like, I see people in the chat. What's happening? Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. You can hear me. There are really people here. There's a big 0 on my screen, and it freaked me out. All right. We had a few complaints last time that we did not focus enough on Oreos. So, we do have to touch on Toffee Crunch. Okay. I'm not going to rat the person out who complained, but they had a lot to say about it. And evidently they really wanted our opinions about regular Oreos. No one cared. That was 5 hours. This will not be a 5-hour stream. Grace Keys, I dropped you the link if you'd like to tell us about Toffee Crunch Oreos. No pressure if you aren't in the mood. Spoiler alert, everyone. I've never had them. Look who's here, our Toffee Crunch expert. Welcome, Grace Case.
Wait, hold on. I'm an idiot. I need to mute.
Grace Case is muted. She'll be right back.
Okay. Mute. Yay.
I do that too every time, where you have this screen and you go add yourself to a screen.
I thought I had it all worked out where I had the one for the shenanigans all muted, and then I'm like, oh wait, I have to mute this one. You stupid fool.
I know. I'm always like, I'm not going to be that person. I'm that person every time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's been a day.
Tell me about it. Here too.
Yes. All righty. So should we just dive into Toffee Crunch?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, first of all, I think we should address your thoughts on original Oreos.
Okay. Well, Claire, I know it's you, but we love
totally
you.
Claire.
Oh, we love you. Just want to make that clear.
She just wants us to stay on topic.
Yeah. So
for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna have to say that I'm not the biggest fan of regular Oreos. So why am I not a fan? It's the cookie part of it that I don't like the most. And having said that, you may have seen me in chat at one point calling the filling, what do I usually call it?
Hydrogenated
petroleum
oil.
No, I call it petroleum product with sugar, which is pretty much what it is. Which is, I mean, it's okay. Well, it's not okay. I mean, it is what it is. And that would be my favorite part of the two things together. Like, to me, cake is just a delivery system for frosting. So the Oreo cookie is just the delivery system for the filling. So having, said all that, I feel, and I'm a fan of dark chocolate, so if there's a correlation, I can't explain it. I don't know. Or not a correlation. I feel like when you eat the cookie together, the two cookies, the heavy, not that it's dark chocolate, but it's the heaviness of that cookie overpowers even the sweetest part of that filling. And it's a bit too much for me. Now, they are good for dunking because somehow when it's dunked in milk, or I suppose you could dunk it in coffee. I've never dunked it in coffee. It tames it down. I don't know. Um,
It's like when
but
you add it to ice cream as well. Somehow
yes,
that,
cookies and cream is the bomb.
yep.
But to sit and eat regular Oreos, I could walk past that and not have a problem. They're just it's just not my jam. So I would pick up almost any other kind of cookie any day. Um, yeah, there's just something. It's I don't know. There's probably better culinary words, and um, if AC comes in, she can tell me on what they are. But it's a heavy. It's not rich. It's a heaviness to them that there's something I just don't like about that.
I see, and I am the exact opposite of you in that I prefer just the plain cookie part.
Hmm.
Like you could take away the cream and I would be fine with it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think the cream has any great redeeming qualities all on its own. I mean, I wouldn't go. If they sold Oreo cream on its own, the way you can buy
Oh, I would
frosting on
never
its own.
purchase that.
Yeah, I don't that it's not like this great thing where you should go eat it with a spoon, but yeah, I know you can buy essentially what is the same as Oreos on their cookies on their own for pie crusts, essentially. And I guess they sell them as like ice cream accoutrement. Can't think of the right word, but why?
Okay, I never thought of that the Oreo pie crust is just the Oreo wafer without the cream.
Yeah, well, and without the impression of Oreo on it, pretty much. It's like the darker chocolate cookie.
Which in my opinion is the best part of the Oreo.
Yeah, yeah.
Although I've never purchased the pie crust.
I
Nor
have in the past, it's I I don't know what else well, you can buy the pre-made pie crust. Um, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Oreo branded. I know it's been a long time since I bought a pre-made chocolate pie crust. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's not I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I will at some point in my life. I don't think it's like a regular need.
No, I haven't used the chocolate pie crust for too many things. So yeah, that's my opinion on the regular. Did John do the regular Oreo?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So to compare, well, I guess we'll get to the comparison maybe at the end of my
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I figured that kind of covers how you eat your Oreos. Like
Which
you
is
just
that primarily I don't. Some of the flavors have looked interesting to me, and one of them I have to say is the pumpkin spice is one that I do try to look for when it when the fall season comes out. I do like that one kind of a little bit, and I do like the golden Oreo. I do like that one.
what's happening?
What? What?
I mean, I won't even try the pumpkin spice because I won't like it.
You don't like pumpkin spice things in general?
No.
Okay.
Like if I can
Carly just left, just so you know.
No, see, but that's the perfect combo, Carly, because you can have all of my pumpkin spice. So, if we're at a buffet, I can get all of my pumpkin spice, send it your way. I'll never fight you for it. And
Yeah,
I'm
and I
not,
don't I don't get them every year. They're not awesome for a pumpkin spice flavored thing, but they're okay.
I I know the exact feeling when you purchase it where you're like, I I'll get these.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, overall, and no offense to the Oreo lovers, Oreos in general just kind of aren't my favorite thing to waste my calories on.
I will tell you this. Before we started this, I thought I liked Oreos a lot more than I actually like Oreos.
And you're gonna probably hate them by the time we're done.
Well, because I think why I liked them so much is because I only had them like once every 5 years.
Yeah.
So then it was like a real I'd be like, "Oh my god, Oreos are really good." And then you like forget about them because I never purchase them either. I don't even walk down the cookie aisle actually. Like Oreos just aren't on my radar. But every time I ate them,
How,
I loved them.
how did we get here if Oreos aren't really on your radar? How did
John.
John did it? Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. John and his coconut Oreos. I think
Yes.
that's what did it.
Well, John, yeah, because when he had those coconut Oreos, every
Where
chat
is
I saw him
John?
in,
John, you should be here. I don't think he's here.
he's not
Get in here,
here.
John. Cass will do her magical summoning and he'll show up.
Let's shame him, and then he'll leave a comment later and be like,
Okay.
"Guys, here's my thoughts."
Have a life, you know.
um, yeah, no. Every time I saw John in a chat when he had those coconut Oreos, he was like, he kept bringing them up. Every chat he was in, he was like, "Hey, has anybody in here tried these Oreos?" I'm like, I was like, "Do you work for Nabisco? How good are
So,
those Oreos?"
so no lie. Like you've heard my kind of backstory of how I got into this community. And I think I said a couple of streams ago when we were talking about it that John and Roddy Mom were two of the people that I remember from Aaron's chat that were so nice. And one of the things that stands out was John was always talking about candy and chocolate and cookies. And it just like every time I went into chat, it's like, John, what do you got? What do you got? What do you have? What are you eating?
Yes, and when
John
I
and his snacks.
well, and that's kind of how because when I first started chatting, people are like, "Who's this stranger?"
Yeah.
And they were
But they were
talking
cool. Yeah.
well, and they're talking about snacks, sweet snacks. So I said I made some joke. Remember there was like a person whose handle was Nat's microwave? So
Yes.
so I said, "Hey, why don't we throw some popcorn in this microwave in Nat's microwave and add a little salty to the sweet?" And I think John and Roddy Mom were like, "Hello, stranger."
Yeah. Yeah. See, they were like, it's hard to jump in on that because, like, first of all, I didn't care about the kitchen conversation all that much. And I didn't know enough to jump in, but it was easy to jump in with them. And they allowed you to jump in and be part of their conversation. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, and that's who I'm like, really, I watch streams for like who was in the chat because you're like,
It-
oh, they're always going to make me laugh.
yeah, exactly.
And like, I like the people who were goofing off. And
Yeah.
they were like, this one's here to play. Come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then,
Yeah. It
so
was awesome.
John with his like coconut freaking Oreos. And then he kept talking about them. And I guess every time, like, if I would get out of chat, I get my groceries delivered. Like,
Yeah.
and so I would be like, I'm gonna add Oreos to my grocery cart. And I would add Oreos. And I went to like get my groceries one time. And I was like, there are 3 packages of Oreos in here. So clearly I've run into John like 3 times in the past few weeks.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, what I checked, like I go like half and half with delivery and going into the store. And I would every time I would do delivery, I would check all the different stores that I don't do delivery, I do pickup usually. None of them had the coconut. And then so for me, where I generally do my shopping, the cookie aisle is directly across from they have the dairy split in two. So like where the dairy, the cheese and the orange juice and the cold brew, which is important, where that's kept is right across from the cookie and crackers. And so I would always be checking for coconut, and they never had them. I'm like, "Ugh, why can't we get them here?" So one day
I'm like,
maybe we'll get them.
John claims they're regional, but
They must be.
yeah, I don't know. I thought about riding Nabisco, but I was like, do I care that much? Like,
Yeah.
it's just fun. Well, and I thought I would be more into this because when I mean, I'm into it, but also when I first thought of it, I was like, I'm not buying a package of Oreos a week like that. Even if I love Oreos, I'm like, that's too many Oreos.
Yeah. And they're not cheap anymore.
No, not at all. And like you said, I'm like, if I'm gonna waste my calories, like an Oreo is not gonna be my first choice.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put some chocolate in my iced coffee.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, and then we're like, we'll crowdsource it, and everyone will get a different flavor. I'm like, excellent, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I bought 2 packages of Oreos in a row, and I was like, yeah, I'm over Oreos. But I mean, they're not an everyday treat for me. They're like a once every few years.
Yeah.
If it was like Oreo ice cream and every week you were like, you have to have a bowl of Oreo ice cream, I'd probably be more into that.
Yeah. That I could do.
But just for straight cookies, I'm like you said, there's so many other cookies I would choose first.
Yeah.
Although, stay tuned because one week I will reveal my favorite Oreo. But I haven't had the
all along your favorite, like since,
No, I
or because
just
of all
learned it.
this?
I thought the
Okay.
regular would be my favorite. At the end, I was like, I think regular's gonna win. Because I'm like, why mess with the original? And I always thought Oreo, like all these flavors sounded gross to me.
Some of them do sound gross.
Yeah, like birthday cake Oreo. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And one my friend had apple pie
Yeah, that one
Oreos.
sounds gross to me.
I ate one. It was gross.
Yeah.
And it doesn't it messes up your brain because you're like, I'm supposed to be eating a cookie and I can tell I'm eating a chemical apple pie. If that makes, you're like,
Oh no, yes. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, actually.
yeah. So, and I always thought Oreo like did the flavors as sort of just a joke. Like in my mind, they're like, whatever, dummies will buy these. Like just put it out for a few months. And I'm like, I appreciate that, Oreo.
Yeah.
But
some of them are just like, no.
yeah. I mean, I can't even think. I think I have a list of them. Yeah, some of them I'm like, no. Like, it just sounds Brookio. Like, it just sounds like a stoner was like, this would be awesome. I mean, and I would totally accept the job if they were like, listen, smoke a bowl and just list delicious flavors. And we'll jam it into an Oreo.
Exactly.
I mean, I think a little bit they're messing with us.
No, they're messing with, like, if they'll buy them, we'll make them. They just want the money. Yeah. Like, they don't care.
Well, and they're like, we don't have to keep making them. It'll make it special. So they'll rush out.
Like, like from the business end of it, do they really, for all the production that they have to, or the cost that goes into producing these specialized flavors with the marketing, not that they do a lot of marketing, but that, they have to pay for the end caps. They have to pay extra for that. They have to pay for the location on the shelving that'll catch your eye. Because if it's down at the bottom, you're not going to see it. They have to pay for all the research and development to get the flavors right. They have to pay for, the setup of the extra packaging and the design. Like, a lot of that is probably in-house where they're already paying these people. But for the extra cost and the limited time that, like, the coconut hasn't been out, I don't know how, it seems like we saw John talking about it forever, but it wasn't that long, and now he can't even get them anymore. So do they really make money off some of these flavors that come and go? I don't know.
I don't know. I bet they know who will eat them.
Yeah.
Like, I bet there's a lot of market research. They're like, okay, people in the Midwest will go for turkey Oreos or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could be that they're doing, some of the ones like the coconut ones with John, that could be just when um, they're only in certain areas, that could be market research before they decide whether it rolls out nationwide or not.
Oh, I meant to look up where the market research towns are. I know there's one in Nebraska or Iowa.
They
Okay,
don't roll them like different places. It's just set ones all the time.
set ones all the time. Like, I think there's one
Okay.
in New Jersey, and then so when you go to that town, it's like all different chips and all different.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because what if the town is like, oh, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm not buying any more of these.
Then they don't sell them.
Huh.
Then they never make it to the whole U.S.
Wow. That's a mighty sword that they wield in those towns.
I wonder if Oreo does that, or if they're like, forget it, just put out those Toffee Crunch Oreos.
Because I know, some of the main ones, like, when they decided to do mint Oreos, I'm sure they're just like, this is a no-brainer, just roll it out. But
Yeah,
some of
and they
these,
probably have like a formula, and they're like, okay, if we sell this many, then keep the mint in production.
yeah,
And mint's also like not obnoxious. It's
yeah,
not like
it's
chocolate
pretty
peanut
standard.
butter pie or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
I
like,
don't.
McDonald's has different areas that they'll test market things in. They don't just use one.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what all the companies do, like Nabisco, Fritos, but it's the same cities every time. I don't know how many there are. I'm going to make up a number. Let's say there's 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, all across the US. And, I should get this clip because I saw it on YouTube from a salesman. He used to work for like Jif peanut butter. Who's that big corporation? It doesn't matter.
Jif?
Yeah,
I
but
have no
like
idea.
it's also Tide
Procter and
products.
Gamble?
Yeah, he worked for them.
Okay.
And he said even in the test cities, he's like, we would make deals. We weren't supposed to. And he's like, but if like Frito Lay's was coming out with a new chip, then like Coca-Cola and Procter and Gamble would get together and be like, run a deal on our chips and our soda.
Huh.
Because Frito Lay's is Pepsi, I think. I mean, if I could have and they were like, we're not supposed to do that, but we totally would. And we would like game the system so that we'd be like, your new chips will get nowhere. Like, I mean, it was really interesting. I'll find it was actually a podcast I was listening to. And it was hilarious.
Huh. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, Mousy was saying that one of the McDonald's test cities is near her. I only know one of the test areas, at least it used to be, I can't vouch that it still is, was in Hawaii. And I only know that because my parents were on vacation and they came back and they're like, McDonald's is testing biscuit sandwiches for breakfast. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we have these sausage biscuits for breakfast because they're testing them out. So, guess they succeeded in the test.
Evidently. Which is weird because those biscuits are salty.
Everything that they have is pretty darn salty.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad I don't live in a test city because, well, maybe I wouldn't because I don't fall for like crazy flavors here. I mean, I'm not a chips person or like a cookies person. I mean, if I'm having a cookie, I make it. But I don't know. I would be fun to like feel like you're making a difference. You're like, the whole US will never know about this Cool Ranch cheese puff.
Ugh, that sounds gross.
Yes, it all sounds gross to me.
Now, when the Lay's does its yearly 3 weird flavors, you'll have to do
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Also,
But
it's so weird. Like I'm like, that's a great idea. You know how often I buy chips? Never. Never ever.
oh, well, I wish I could say that. See, I would go to the chip aisle over the Oreo aisle any day of the week. Any day.
I would I mean I don't I'm a popcorn person. That's what I make.
I love popcorn is my favorite food in the whole world, but my teeth are not so we don't do popcorn that often anymore just because my teeth are like doesn't matter how much floss you use, we're going to stick up here forever.
I understand. And pretzels. I am a pretzel person. So I guess I would go to the chip aisle first.
Yeah. You know, Claire's probably gritting her teeth right now, right?
I know. Okay, well, we're focusing. We're back on Toffee Crunch Oreos.
All
So,
right.
tell us your thoughts.
All right. So I tried to be analytical as best I could, but you'll just get what you get. All right. So Toffee Crunch Oreos. So the cookie itself is the standard dark Oreo. So probably no surprises there if you've seen them as you go down the cookie aisle. For those of you who don't run down the cookie aisle like I tend to do, if I don't need to be there. So when you open the package, you get an immediate blast of toffee smell. Like you know you have purchased Toffee Crunch Oreos. Um, which
And
is
I love toffee.
I love toffee, which is why I wanted this one because I love toffee.
Yeah.
Having
Like,
said that, oh, go ahead.
no, I was like, toffee is one of my favorite candy. Like,
Me too.
make homemade toffee.
Yes. I don't really do I've never I'm a big baker. Um Never did too much candy, but I have done some caramel and some toffee in the past. But I love toffee. I love toffee. I think that you would probably be, especially having made it, I think you'll be disappointed in this. Um, and we'll and the reason for that is so if you like the cookie part, which you do, that's standard. It's nothing. It's not different from some of the other ones make a different cookie. This is the standard cookie. But to me, the filling it's just okay. Um, the taste is like there's a couple of things um, about it that are just off. One is and you'll relate to this, I think. Um, it has that taste to me when you are cooking candy where it's, you know, or what it doesn't have is, when toffee, you're cooking toffee, you're getting it to where it almost is that burnt end of candy where you're just pushing the edge of burning it.
Yes.
Doesn't have that. What it has is that artificial drops of toffee flavor. That's what it
Oh,
has. And you can just tell, like you were talking about earlier, you can tell you're eating an artificial flavor, which of course, it's an artificial flavored cookie. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, most of the stuff you're like, this is a chemical flavor though.
yeah,
And I think if you don't eat a lot of processed foods, it's more pronounced to you.
it was so pronounced to me. It was like, and it might have been because of that initial coffee blast smell you get that it's like, this is too, it was just almost,
It's
I don't
not
know, it was too much.
It's like
It
fake
smelled
banana
good,
flavor
but
or fake
yes,
watermelon flavor. Any of those, I'm
yeah.
like, no, like the scent of them turns me off.
Yeah, it was good, but it was too much. It's like, this isn't real. Something's wrong here, kind of almost. Um, and the other thing about it for me is it was a bit too sweet. And when you get over into that cloyingly sweet area, it's like, no, no, we got to take it a step back. So that's where I kind of went with the filling on that. Oreo filling is pretty sweet, but it's not where it goes over the edge to where you're like kind of cringing. It's so sweet. Um, I felt this filling was cringy sweet.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
And I mean, toffee is really sweet.
it is. But usually the chocolate that you use, if you're dipping it and then you're, whatever else you're doing with it, tones that down a little bit. The cookies weren't for me enough to tone that down. It just was so sweet.
Well, and so this is one where initially I go, ooh, toffee crunch. And then I go, ew, toffee crunch. Because
Yeah.
if you ask me to put a piece of toffee on top of like an Oreo wafer and eat it, just sitting here in my house, I would be like, no, I'm not doing that. That's disgusting.
Well, here's the next part of my assessment. So when you make toffee, toffee hardens up and the crunch is the toffee. So obviously, Oreo is a soft filling. So that's not like putting a piece of toffee on the cookie. But what they
Oh,
do is where they get the crunch, is they add these sugar crystals, which are, it's an odd thing for me. Um, it gives it a little bit of a strange grit. They're not huge sugar crystals. It's enough for you to notice them. Um, they're they're not big enough to give you that reminiscent toffee crunch, biting into a piece of toffee. I think they could have left them out because they just end up being a little bit weird, like almost that toothpaste grit kind of feeling.
yes, that's just what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like,
they're a little weird.
and I bet that would throw off a lot of people because
Yeah,
texture is big for people with food.
yeah.
And
If
I
you've got
wouldn't
it,
like that at all. I'd be like, why is this gritty? Why is it
yeah,
grainy?
yeah. If you've got a texture issue, that would might be a dip out for you. Ooh, dip. That's where we're going next is the dip. Um, Dunkability. So I admit I'm not much of a dunker. Um, my habits with the Oreos when I don't dunk is I usually eat the filling, and I may or may not eat all of the rest of the cookies. But I think they would hold up as well as any Oreo if you did dip them. But going back to the crystals, I think if I dunked them, the crystals in my milk, if they didn't completely dissolve, would drive me a little bit crazy. I think I might be more inclined to dip them in a cup of coffee.
That's what I was
Um,
just thinking too. I'm
yeah,
like, it sounds like a coffee cookie.
yeah, I think that might help cut the sweetness a little bit if you dunk them in, unless your coffee's also super sweet. I think that they're more. I'd be more inclined to try and dip them in my coffee. Um, and that's my personal review. I do have an extra review from Chonko.
Yes, Chonko. What did he
Yes.
think?
So he did come when I was at my desk trying to write up my review, and I had two of the cookies sitting here. And he came up onto the desk, which, he is keen to do at times, and he did lick the outside of the cookie. So I picked him up and I let him sniff it, and he was very, very happy to sniff it, and he licked it. And then the little bugger took and tried to bite the whole thing, like put it in his mouth and tried to chomp down on the whole thing.
That's a
Um,
ringing endorsement.
as a ringing endorsement. So I took it apart and let him lick the filling, and he was just going to town. But I had to cut him off on that because
He's a
I
cat.
can't. He's a cat, and we shouldn't be giving sugar or especially chocolate to dogs. So don't do that. But I think that he does give them a 10 out of 10 because he was very into them. I would personally probably give them maybe a 6 out of 10 just because one, I think they're a little bit too sweet, and I'm not a fan of super, super sweet stuff. And that texture thing was just weird. So that's my review. And
Wow.
I hope I impressed you, Claire. I hope I impressed
Yeah, I think that was a great, thorough review,
you. Thank you.
including Chonko's review.
Yes, Chunka will be so proud. He will be so proud that he was recognized for his skills.
Yes, thank you, Chianco, for weighing in. Do you know cats can't taste sweet?
Yeah, I had heard that, and it kind of I kind of had to do a double take on that because Chonko will rip you to shreds for banana. He loves banana. Like if I peel a banana across the house, he will come running.
That's so
He,
weird.
yeah, like, and I always assumed it was the sweetness of it. I don't know what he smells in it. He loves it. He gives bananas a 15 out of 10.
Ooh, higher
Yeah,
than the Toffee
higher,
Crunch
higher
Oreos.
than the yes, higher than Toffee Crunch.
Chianco's a hard critic.
He is.
But I agree with Chianco on that too. I would rate bananas higher than
Yes.
Oreos. What does he like in a banana? I'm gonna Google that later.
I don't know.
Because
And
my last
bananas.
cat hated the smell of bananas.
Oh, he loves them. And it's safe for cats to have a little bit, so I do give him some.
Interesting. Chianco, you're teaching me a lot. I love it.
He's a good boy.
I love that he weighed in. That's my favorite part of the review.
I couldn't believe it when he tried to take an actual bite.
Ah, that's the best part.
Chunka loves catnip too. Mrs. C loves the catnip.
Catnip, bananas. That's like his Christmas stocking. He's like,
Yeah.
you can put a few of those cookies in there. I will not complain.
Yeah.
Bananas are nature's candy. They are also my favorite fruit. A lot of people won't say that, but I'll make that statement. Okay. I feel like I have marked something else. Oh, Mrs. Cassandra had another toffee cookie. Pepperidge Farm toffee dark chocolate chip cookies.
Have I tried that? I don't think I have.
But are those sound to me like they have bits of real toffee in them, which I feel like is a different
we
game.
have Pepperidge Farm here, do we?
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have those here. Now I'm curious. I'm trying to imagine them on my shelf in the store.
I know, isn't it weird? Because I don't even look at the cookies. I mean, maybe there's something on the other side of that aisle.
Oh, guess we do. Okay.
Mrs. Cassandra. Claire's playing games, so we're good to go off topic. Claire's never coming to an Oreo stream again.
I will have to look for those.
See, this is what happens is then I'm in a stream and I add those to my cart because I'm like, oh, I want to look at these later. And now I've learned to like check my cart because one time
you forget to take them out.
Yeah, one time I ordered really expensive hand soap by like I wanted to look at it later because I liked the scent of it, but I was like, oh, that's too expensive. So whatever. And I just like finalized my cart and then I got my little receipt and it was like, here's your like $26 bottle of hand soap. And I was like, what? No.
Mrs. Cassandra, you to Meatloaf is a hardcore fan of the freeze-dried minnows, but then I realized she was talking about Meatloaf her cat and not Meatloaf the human.
I forgot about Meatloaf the human. You're not a toffee fan, Mrs. Cassandra? I love toffee. But toffee, once again, is I only eat it once a year.
Yeah, Christmas, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And I say I make it every year. I say I'm going to make it. I don't very often.
I used to make now of course Corona's oops, we said that, sorry. Oh no, Corona's no wait, the beer. Okay, whatever. I'm all confused myself
I think
now.
we can say it now, can't we?
Oh, I would hope so. I mean, it's just sort of part of life. Why can't we say it now?
Anyway, a lot of YouTube's words like that. I'm like, thank you for making us. It's so immature, I think.
I know, right? I think he did pass away. I think he did. Yeah. Um, but I used to make like go crazy at Christmas and bake and do the fudge and candy and some candy. Like I said, I never really was big into the candy making because I don't like getting that specific.
I was
Um,
like, candy's too fussy for me.
yeah, it is too. I mean, baking's pretty fussy, but candy is like super fussy.
Yes,
Um,
candy's like one stir too many, and you're like, it's ruined.
exactly. Yep. You're like caramel, caramel, caramel trash.
Yes. And it's always like someone walks in the room and you turn and look at them and look back at it and you're like, it's ruined.
I know. I remember one time I was making frosting for cupcakes, and I'm like, "Oh, I need to go get something out of the fridge." And I come back and I'm like, "Damn it, I have butter."
That's
So
so frustrating.
yeah. Um, but I used to. So I would make, you know, little tins and take them to all my friends at work and whatever. And then like one year, people are like, "Don't put this in mine, and don't put this in mine, but give me extra of this." And I'm like, "That's the year I stopped doing it."
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
agree.
this is not a bakery, okay? No.
Like,
Do you know how much then this is before, now, I'm like, "Do you know how much expensive butter is?" Like, I do this for free. I do this out of the goodness of my heart, and now you're treating me like your short order baker? No.
and trade behind my back if it's that big a deal, you jerk.
Exactly, exactly.
Like, I mean, the gall to be like, don't put this in mine.
They were totally doing it. I'm like, "Mm-mm, nope,
You're
no
like, you
more."
ruined it for everyone, you jerks.
Yeah, next day I'm like, "Here's a gooey butter cake for everybody. Take what you want."
That was me too. I would be like, no, I'm never doing this ever again.
Yep,
Forget all of you.
yep,
And half
yep.
the fun of the mixed tin that people give you is trying everything.
Exactly.
Because I got one from a guy at work, and I don't know what they were. I think maybe lace cookies. Because
Oh my.
it's been like 10 years, and I randomly looked them up, and they were so good that on a regular basis, I'm like, I wonder if that guy still works at that company. I should call up there and
And
ask him
then
what those were.
and then I wanted some Cheetos. Not that kind of cookie? No?
Nope.
Okay. And then I saw little pink aliens running across my living room. Not that kind of cookie?
Not that kind of cookie.
All right.
Yeah,
There you go.
Mousy, I kind of lost my patience for baking too. Like, I have to be in the mood. I like doing it, but I don't know. And cooking certain things. I'm like, that's too much. Am I muted? Can you hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Oh,
I
okay.
can hear you. Of course, I'm back here, so of course I can hear you.
I don't know what's happening, but I feel like I'm not in control of my computer. like, and it just keeps popping like random things at me. It'll be like, hey, you can mute your mic here. And I'm like, I know.
See, I feel like when I go live, I'm really not. The computer is doing fine. It's the operator, like doing stupid things. Yeah,
Yes. It's a lot. Like,
it is
it's
a lot. And
not a
then
lot, but it is a lot. Like, if you're
and
trying to
then
read chat and have a conversation, you're like, I don't know, somebody's got to be ignored.
and then yeah, exactly. And then once you get flustered, it's like trying to recover from that and do everything. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, okay. Like, yeah, when I started that live on accident and then realized you can't pause it. So I wasn't even thinking. I just like clicked it off really quick. Then I'm like, oh no, now you have to reschedule a whole live and you have like 2 minutes to do it. And you're trying to go get everything and like the description and the picture and the everything. And I'm like trying to get the picture, like the picture, get the pictures. I'm gonna find the picture. Wait, I have to go try and drop a link to get everybody to come over here. And I'm like, wait, I can't drop the link. We're set to not drop the link. But I'm the channel. I should be able to put a link in the comments, but it wasn't letting me put a link. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, it was not having it.
Well, and my problem, like YouTube will update differently in different spots too. So like
And there
this
was an
stream,
update today, apparently, because
oh,
on my phone, at least, when you go into notifications, it had a section for important notifications, which
really?
was, yes, which was like Claire liked your comment. And then the rest of them were videos, whatever that you'd subscribe to, people you subscribe to. I'm like, okay, um, all right.
I
So
don't
I don't.
understand how it determines the notifications because it'll tell me like 55 comments and then it'll be like, yeah, this channel's going live. And I'm like, I don't even watch that channel. Why are you telling like am I
Oh
subscribed to
no,
them? Who is that?
yeah, yeah. On desktop, it's weird. It throws up the most random things.
Well, and I like this live was the one I had scheduled for last week.
Yeah,
But I went in and like added your shenanigans link and stuff and like updated it for tonight's date, but then I couldn't see it.
yeah. It's not been on my like. I can usually, like I told you, I can usually go into where what I'm subscribed to, and I click on the live, and I'll see like all Mousies, and I'll see whoever I'm subscribed to when they have lives coming up. And I didn't see yours at all. And I'm like, well, maybe she decided not to go live tonight. Maybe she's not feeling well. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, and I think the smaller channels, like it'll hide the lives because there's sometimes like if I go in, so this one started at like 9 p.m. my time. So if I go in at 9 and it hasn't started, you can't see it to like click on it and wait.
Hmm.
Like I have to wait for the person to actually go live. Like it happened to me with yours the other night. I was like, I can't see yours until you actually go live.
Huh.
So sometimes I'll go like click in real early. I don't know. It's weird. Or if
But
it's somebody I'm
like,
not subscribed to, I'm like, I can't find them.
like right now, if I go into my subscriptions and I click live, I can see one person is live, you're live. It shows me the shenanigans that's coming up, and it shows me Bondi Rescue coming up. Like right now, I don't even see any of Mousie's, and it usually shows me anything that Mousie's got scheduled. It showed me like last time, not last time, but when you had like 3 scheduled for, however long out, it would show all of those. And now it's like hardly showing me anybody's lives that are scheduled. It's just weird.
Yeah. And I don't understand. It'll like take, like, it showed me Mousie's live all day yesterday until like I went to go watch it. And then I'm like, now I can't find a freaking live.
Huh.
like, like it'll take away the ones I want. Here's my other thing too. Like, I don't understand how it chooses when to like update the recommended because it'll recommend the
Yeah.
same stuff to me forever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
clearly I'm not going to watch that.
Well, to me, it recommends stuff that I've already watched. I'm like,
Yes, me too. And
why
that
are you doing that?
infuriates me. I'm like, at least put it under watch it again because
Yeah.
it's my dumb fault if I accidentally click on those.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if it's because people changed the name of the stream.
Well, maybe.
I just thought of that right now.
Or it'll recommend things that are 4 years old. I'm like, really? Can we be a little bit more relevant?
Yes. I'm like, if I want to dig that far back in someone's channel, I'll do it. But it also, I don't know. I don't like how they group things either. Like, it really recommends a lot of channels that I'm like, I clearly don't watch that channel.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a good example. But it takes a long time to, it'll keep throwing like stuff at like H3 or whatever. And I'm like, I don't watch that.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of that. Stop
And I don't
recommending it to me.
and I get how, their algorithm is set up, like, if you like this, then you'll probably like this. But it's like, I wish you wouldn't just keep sending me things that are exactly like the things that I watch. Like, if I like this, then set your algorithm to show me something that's like this, but not exactly.
Yeah, like extrapolate out a bit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Help me get out of the box that don't let me set up
yes.
a little, you know.
Well, and I have like my different, like the TV in my TV room, I call it my garbage YouTube because it's
Mhm.
the one that's like all the KJ channels. And I'm
Ugh.
like, I don't want all these, and I refuse, I won't watch any of those on any other device because I'm like, you'll mess up my algorithm and then they'll put all those freaking people, like my TV upstairs is my smart YouTube. That's where I'm watching like things that like you actually use your brain for. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, no KJ up here.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, the KJ one, once you get down that hole, it's not recommending anything quality to you. No
Ugh.
offense, everyone in KJ world. Which I mean, I guess technically we are, but I'm like, just, I don't know. They could do better with their algorithm, I think.
They could.
And
And
there's
I don't know.
certain channels I watch every time and it never recommends them to me. I'm like, why do I have to go in and look for this person's stream every time?
And tell me, and here's another thing. So if I'm like, now we were talking about this a little bit with the handles. So you Jujube was already taken the way that you do it, the way you spell it. Shenanigans, somebody will, there's already channels before that came before us that are called Shenanigans. So depending on if they take it, we will have to figure out a different way to, whatever. But if all I ever watch is this Jujube, when I go to search for it, why do you never put it up? I just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through every other thing that's relatively something close to Jujube, and then you start throwing in things like that are completely not related to anything Jujube, and I have no idea what the relevance is, and I'm still trying to find this channel. Like,
It did it to me last night with Mousy. I looked
yeah,
up the mouse files and it gives me the mouse files, but it's about like Disney. And I'm
yeah,
like, I've watched every stream Mousy has done,
yeah,
everyone. So I
and you're
feel like you should be able to be like, oh,
right.
we know which one you want.
You're smart enough to recommend the video when it pops up, but you aren't smart enough to know this is the one I want to search for. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
I don't
Well, of
either.
course, I mean, of course, we're sub, so it recommends the video, but you would have to know by the fact that we keep clicking in here that when we search, like Google, this is Google. Come on, this is Google. You know my search history on your webs on just google.com. You have like, come on.
Well, and I have to be careful because I'm not signed in on my TV.
Okay.
So I watch like, and that's the one I have like watch all the garbage stuff on. But if I like search on my phone where I am logged in or have my computer in that room, then it'll be like, oh, we see what else you watch. And I'm like, no, I have like my algorithm set up. So it'll like try and it doesn't sneak like the good stuff onto like my garbage,
Yeah.
non signed in. It takes that stuff and puts it into the where I'm signed in. And I'm like, no, you're ruining my algorithm. Like, I don't like Jujube is subbed to certain things. I don't want to be subbed to other things.
So Cass, they sent out, and you should be getting one at some point. It used to be you have to meet certain requirements before you like had certain number of watch hours, certain number of subscribers to get the personalized, they call them handles. Um, but now they're rolling them out to everybody, and it's just like they're not doing it all at once. So
Well,
I
and like I got to choose mine, but they don't go into effect for a while.
okay. So I got emails on pretty much all of my accounts, all the sock accounts, saying, "Hey, this is coming, and we'll send you the next email when it's your turn." Shenanigans got that email too, saying it's coming, and you'll get your next email when it's your turn. So when it's our turn, basically, if you don't do anything, they said it will
Make one up for
default.
you.
Yeah, they'll default it to your name, but since like with Jujubee, she like and ours, since we have other people with the same name, I don't know how they would default it.
They
So
defaulted mine to like Jujubee 7292 or something like
okay,
they just put numbers after it.
numbers. Okay. So I guess we could figure out, if we want to do like she.nanigans or however, we would want to try and do it. So, but we haven't got that follow-up email yet.
Yeah, that's so weird. And told Grace Case this, but everyone in chat, Mousy, check your channel, because last night I looked at my dashboard and I had in like the upper right hand corner of your dashboard where it gives you the little messages, like, I don't know, like your handle's ready, you can go pick it. Well, it told me that my community tab, I had a community tab, and I was like, ooh. So then I couldn't figure out how to like find the community tab from the dashboard. So I clicked the link in the message, went and was like reading it in the YouTube help section, came back to my dashboard, and they took it away from me. It was gone.
That's so bizarre.
It was the weirdest thing. And then when you're like, am I crazy? That just happened. Like, but it makes you feel like, and I'm like, no, I clicked the link to, I still have it open, community post, because I was like, I clicked into this community post tips from the YouTube dashboard. So I cannot explain how it did that.
I'm trying to see if there's a way. Why is it not showing? Like maybe you did something wrong. Not wrong, but
no, that's what I was wondering too. I'm like, did I like change some setting or something?
Let's see.
Which was at my total initial ideas for you. That's where it.
Let's see. Studio left. Okay. Go to, I don't know if you can do this right now. You should be able to.
I'm
Go
doing it.
into,
I'm in my dashboard.
okay. Are you in content? Go to content or no. Go to your studio tab and then click on content.
Got it.
And then is there something for posts?
No.
Okay. And I don't know.
Well, and I'm wondering, here's what I think. I think what happened was I got the message about the community tab, but I didn't actually get the community tab.
But mine was like right away. When I got the message, it was like, here it is. Hello. Welcome. There it is right there. And that was on Grace Case, not Shenanigans. Because Shenanigans got it right away because we're set up as a brand channel so that all three of us, so it's not my channel, it's our channel, and we can all be administrators.
See, I'm wondering, I don't know. I mean, I was just going in my channel to look, like, how I go in and like look at my watch hours, or, I mean, I wasn't really doing anything in there. So I wasn't changing anything. And then I saw the community tab notification, and I was like, ooh, now I'm doing something. So I bet I did do something, because then I was clicking around trying to like, I'm like, where is the community tab? Like, I can't figure out how to.
There should be a way to get it back.
I don't know. The way I took it was I was on, like, they sent me the message for it, and then they were like, oh crap, take that message back. I don't know.
I can't imagine they would do that.
I probably did click in something then.
We can keep researching that.
Well, YouTube, it's just the way it's set up. That dashboard and everything is not logical.
No, it's weird.
And it's like, I'll find certain screens and I'm like, okay, I love the data on this screen. This is useful. And then the next time I try and get back there, I'm like, crap, how did I find that screen? I don't. Maybe I just need to be more familiar with it, but it feels like you can click the same thing multiple times and it comes up with a different screen every time.
Yeah.
It's just not intuitive. Someone did make YouTube some special Oreos. It feels like it's a uber nerd who designed it and not someone who's utilizing it.
Right. Well, that's how our entire work program was designed by people who have never processed cases. So it's very helpful.
Yes, it's designed by coders. And because I would always get in trouble, I'd be like, you know who we need to talk to is the people who actually do this every day.
Yeah. We're like, please get some of those people on the team.
Yes.
Talk to
and
them.
I'm like, bring them in because they'll tell us what needs to happen. And everyone's like, no, that's dumb. We can't contact them. I'm like, well, we're just writing code for whatever. Like, we're making up what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, some like bigwig will tell us, and I'm like, that bigwig doesn't know. He's not entering squat in the system. Like, we need the people who actually do this every day. And then they can tell us like what's wrong. And people like, have you ever gotten to a screen where if you hit tab, it doesn't go in order? Okay, well, you have to set that, and it doesn't come like whatever field you make first. That's why sometimes it'll tab around randomly because the person didn't fix that. And I used to get mad at I'd be like, fix the tabs so that people entering can like tab to the next data field. It's very frustrating. It doesn't matter. I'm like, just use your brain. Pretend like you're entering information. You do not want to like jump down to field 43 when you're on field 2. You want to go to field 3.
Okay, here's my pet peeve. And I wonder if anybody else has this pet peeve. When you are filling out something on, primarily it's my phone, when I get irritated by this, and you have to fill out your address and you get to the zip code field. Why do they not default that to pop up the number screen or the number, whatever you call it, the keypads, number pad?
I don't know.
You can do that because people do it. Why don't you do that? Make it easy. That's just, Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa, how's it going? Teresa, you're never late. You just stroll in at your own pace.
Yeah, you come in whenever you want. Oh, wait, this isn't my stream.
You got it. You know the rules here.
You get here on time. No.
Get her out of here.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that drives me crazy. It's like, why do you pop right back to, like, you do the numbers in other places, like for my phone number. So why do you pop it back over to alpha when you know it's a number? Why do you do that? I don't know. That's my pet peeve.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. It's infuriating to me because it's so logical.
Yeah. It's just like, if you're trying to make this user friendly, think of the user. I don't know.
They don't. I'll tell you, computer nerds do not. Some things I can be like, I can tell. I'm like, a nerd did that on purpose because they think it's hilarious. And they sit at home sometimes and they're like, they just laugh to themselves. They're like, everyone around the world has to click back over to the number pad.
Yes. You're just being mean. Just being mean.
But they think it's funny. I'm telling you, computer people, they're like an odd lot. And I'm like, that is not funny. Stop doing that. Sometimes it's a little bit funny, but not forever. Is that Chanko? Does he have another review for us?
It's Velcro.
You know what? I saw an article today. I almost sent it to you because the headline was 40 breeds of Velcro cats. And I was like, what?
I'm trying to get him to pick a side. He like just wants to walk back and forth in front of the computer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cats get it.
Yep.
They know the rules.
Yes, and the rules are to irritate the owner. That's the rule.
They're like, does this bother you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
One of the last pictures I took of my cat, this is a good quick story. I was folding my wash rags, and then he came up and sat down and just put his little butthole right on a clean wash rag. And I was like,
oh, that's total cat move.
I'm like, come on, man. And I'm like, he knows exactly what he's doing. I'm like, get out of the clean laundry.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
The chat went quiet.
It's quiet?
I said the chat went quiet.
Oh, the
Teresa came in and everyone's like, zip it.
How are you going to make Teresa feel weird? Come on, guys.
I know. It does look like we were like, Teresa's like, hey, everybody. And everyone's like, shh.
Hide.
We're talking about Teresa.
My headset was getting wonky. What are you making? Oh, corn pudding. I want corn pudding. Yum.
Cheddar broccoli noodles?
Never heard of cheddar broccoli noodles.
That's how chat looked, Teresa, though. Like we were talking about you. Like everyone just quieted. So did you, like me, picture cheddar broccoli noodles as noodles made out of cheddar and broccoli?
No.
I did. And then I go, that's not right. Like it took me, I had to flip around and be like, oh, there's probably broccoli and cheddar on top of noodles.
To be honest, I didn't spend much time on the cheddar and broccoli noodles because I was hung up on the corn pudding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do not buy those.
Is it? Huh. So is it like... Is it like... I'm trying to think of what it's like.
It's like a little...
It's like broccoli with noodles and a cheese sauce, right?
Yeah, but it comes in like a little packet, I think.
Yeah.
And then you just add water or milk or something, and like a pat of butter.
Yeah. Nope, still hung up on the corn pudding. Yum. Yum.
I don't know if I would like corn pudding. Someone brought me a bowl of rice pudding. What was it called? Gallo rolls. I don't know. That is not helpful. I just made random noises. It was like really good, but also
sounds savory.
It was not savory. It was sort of nothing.
Huh.
Like she put a little cinnamon on top of it. And what's funny is I follow her on Instagram. So she's like, the night before, she's like, I made this. I'm so excited. And then she puts her review up and she goes, it was meh. And the next day she's like, hey, I'm going to bring you some of this. And I was like, are you just trying to get rid of it? I saw your review. And she's like, yeah, maybe a little bit. I'm like, I'll still take it. But like her review is right. It was like, oh, it's just like creamier rice with cinnamon on it.
Some tapioca I like. Some I no. Some rice, like I don't think I've ever had actual rice pudding, and I don't know how different that is from actual tapioca. Let's see here. Check the picture. Which Juju could check herself. Oh, that looks really good. Ooh, I'm gonna look for that. Too bad you can't see it, Juju.
That is too. Now I do want to see it. You lured me in with, ooh, that does look good.
Well, it's in Discord.
Stupid Discord.
Our
I heard one of your
Discord,
Discords going off the other night on your stream. A lot.
not our Discord wasn't going off. Not mine.
Somebody's was.
Yeah, not mine. Probably Claire's. Hers is always busy and having all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, it could have been Claire's.
Yeah. If you want to ease your way into Discord, mine's probably the way to go because it's, especially right now, like we're not really advertising it. So it's just by like, you can invite people in. It's pretty slow. You're not going to get overwhelmed. And if you're like, this is, I hate this, I'm out. But yeah, you trust me, you're not going to get Teresa can tell you, you're not going to get overwhelmed in that Discord.
Yeah, Claire's Discord does sound a little overwhelming to me. I'm like, that's
it. Claire's isn't, for me, Claire's isn't over. I mean, it can be, there's just a lot of, what's the word? They're called channels, but think of them as subjects. So there's a lot of subjects, and if you don't have any interest in them, you just don't go in those. So it would be overwhelming if you were trying to keep up with all of them. But I don't suppose anybody is trying to keep up with all of them.
I think the key is to just turn off notifications. Because I've found that I'm a lot happier when I don't have notifications on with everything.
I don't have notifications on I don't have it on Twitter. I don't have it on Facebook. I don't have them on anything. Like, I'll go in when I want to see what's going on.
I have it for YouTube on my phone, but I mean, it's like a real 50-50 shot if I see it. Because I don't, if I don't see it when it comes, like when it actually is sent out, then I don't pull down my notifications and look at them.
Yeah.
But I will sometimes pop into the YouTube app and then hit notifications and be like, what's happening? Yeah, I just don't, I'm like, there's nothing that's happening do I need to know about, immediately. You know what I mean? I always think that's other people's to-do list for me. And I'm like, I'll go in and check YouTube notifications when I'm ready to sit down and watch YouTube. And Twitter, I just don't go to because every time I go there, I regret it.
Let me see here. We're just going to be... Okay. Oh, I can't do it on that one. Okay, let's see. Let's go this way.
It always sounds culty when any of you are trying to convince me to join Discord. Teresa's like, come join us. Yeah, I don't always get notified either. And most of them I have to go in and be like, okay, Mousie's going to go live, notify me. But then I already have it in my brain that I'm going to watch her at 9 p.m. or whatever time.
So there you are. That is the coveted invite to the Shenanigans Discord.
All right. Well, maybe. Now I feel pressure. I'm like, I don't know. Should I click it? Is that a phishing link?
Not a phishing link. Nope. No, and no pressure.
I know. Well, you know what I did realize last week when I was sick? I was like, I am on the internet way too much now. It is not good for my brain. Like, I gotta settle down.
Yeah, I try not to be like I'll go check things once in a while, but I try not to stay on as much just because it's so negative.
Yes. Well, and then I was like getting on at times that were not convenient for me.
Yeah.
So I would be like, "Oh, I'm really hungry," but this person's streaming. So I like wouldn't make dinner and I'd like watch the stream, where I'm like,
Yeah.
now you're just neglecting your real life. Like,
Yeah.
settle down.
Yeah. Mousy has a comment about how her phone was going off so much it kind of stressed me. That's they like talk. What's the name of that show that was on Netflix? And I'm sure it's still on there. Social. It's called The Social something. Um, and they talk about how and like I don't know if engineering is the right word, but they know how the dopamine hits go with like the notifications and the likes and all of that stuff and like
I
so
watched that. How like
yes,
and how they can veer you.
yes. And so like I took that's one of the reasons like I don't have the notifications on. Like I will go in when I want to go in. And like one of the things they were saying on that is um like let's say on IG you put a post out and it gets 100 likes, but they will dole out the likes. Let's say they get all 100 likes come in 5 minutes. They'll hold off some of those likes, notification of them, and dole them out like
Like we're
every
rats in
so
a
often.
maze.
Yes, to keep you coming back and to keep that dopamine hit so
Yep.
it like almost gets you addicted. It's
Well, and I
crazy.
can tell. Yeah, they do that with Instagram stories too. Like they won't post a person's whole story. They'll give you like 2 or 3, however long they are, like 30 seconds. They'll give you like 2 30-second increments and then hold the next ones off so you come back in a few minutes and like check it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, the way around that is to only check Instagram once a day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I could tell, like when I started my YouTube channel, I was like, oh, this is what's happening. I get it.
Yeah.
Because I would like do a stream and then I would go and be like, how many views?
Yeah.
What happened? And I
Yeah.
would like check. And then I would be like, how many hours was that? How many hours did people watch of it?
Yeah.
And I would check it like every day. And I'd be like, first of all, stop looking at it because you're at like 20 hours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that like with shenanigans a couple of times. And it's like, you know what? Like we started the channel just to, have fun and do our thing. And it's like if, we're just gonna say what we want to say and do what we want to do. And
Well, that's what I thought too. I'm like, okay, my whole goal was to create a place where people weren't fighting.
yeah.
I'm like, and not talking about KJ. Like, I just wanted to go have a place where we were like freaking goofing off. And then I was like, you've created that. You've won. You have succeeded. Like, you, why do you need to keep looking at hours? And I mean, if it gets bigger, awesome. But at the same time, I love what I have going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do stuff to like feed that need for more hours and everything
Yeah.
and like start making stuff that I don't want to make.
Yeah. Like I'd love for, I can't speak for you. I'd love for our channel to grow, but
Oh,
not
I mean,
by
obviously I totally want that, but
yeah.
I'm like had to be like, okay, settle down because now you're like making
Ooh,
decisions that don't follow what you wanted for your channel. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like I've been
Uh
stuck at like 50 some odd subscribers, and you're like, I'm frustrated. And then I'm like, okay, but you have the right subscribers. That's the key.
We need to go to Teresa's house.
I've threatened to
Just
move next door to Teresa because I think
yeah.
she's a very good cook. And she's a great time to hang out with and chat. So I'm like, that would be.
Yeah. There's a good reason I was hung up on that corn pudding. Let's just say.
Is it like really good?
Oh my gosh. I could go face first into that pan.
Does Disneyland do that with smells, Mrs. Cassandra? I didn't know that. Actually, that makes perfect sense. It's like why movie theaters pop popcorn.
Mousy, if you signed up, I don't see you. Not that I'm trying to push that, but anyway. Oh my gosh, Teresa, that looks so good. Are you making that that's just dinner tonight, or is there a special occasion? Or do you just always cook that way, that deliciously?
I think she always cooks that
Oh
deliciously.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, if you were in there, you could see the picture of it. I'm gonna download it and send it to you in IG just so you can see what you're missing.
That's
It's
like the
mouth
ultimate
watering.
compliment. When you're like,
Mouth
it's worth it.
watering. And oh my gosh, it has just the right amount of what is the word I'm looking for? My mouth or my head just completely dropped the word. Caramelization on the top. Oh, I'm dying. Dying.
See, I do need to do the recipe stream. Like I need
Yeah.
some. Like I was sitting today trying to think of new stuff to cook.
That looks. Do you like corn?
Nah, it's okay. Here's the
Okay, you
thing
probably won't
with a
like that
lot
then.
of stuff, I'm like, I may not necessarily like it, but I'll eat it. Like my parents trained me very well. They were like, "Here's what's for dinner. You don't have to eat it."
If that looks like something I might take to Thanksgiving, so I might need that recipe
Okay.
if Teresa's willing to share it.
And the Thanksgiving meal is one of my least favorite meals.
Me too. Except, oh, this is gonna sound horrible. My mom is an okay cook. She's not a great cook, and I think she would tell you that herself. But my sister-in-law is a really good cook, and they're coming out for Thanksgiving. I've already put my sister-in-law on notice that she is making the stuffing, and there's just we're not negotiating that. She always laughs every time we go out to California for Thanksgiving. I'm like, "You're making the stuffing, right? You're making your stuffing, right?" So Thanksgiving will probably be quite good this year because my sister-in-law will take over.
we had recipes like my aunt always made this disgusting cranberry stuff. It had like celery and nuts in it. It was so gross. And when she passed away, we were like, we're not trying to celebrate, but we don't have to eat that cranberry crap at Thanksgiving anymore, do we?
Oh yeah,
I don't
stuffing
like
all
stuffing.
day.
See, every year, my whole goal is to avoid Thanksgiving meals. And it is shockingly hard to do. I'm like, I do my own thing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like I'll eat a slice of turkey. Mashed potatoes are fine. Generally, like I don't like stuffing, but I'll eat my sister-in-law's. What are some of the I don't pumpkin pie, get it out of no, don't like that.
I don't like that either.
What are some of the other standard things? The sweet potato casserole with the mushrooms. Hello,
Oh, no.
marshmallows. No, get that away from me. That's gross. What else do they eat? So, like most of the standard things, I'm like, that yucky. Icky, icky. Don't like
Yeah,
them.
that's how I am. Like none of it. I mean, I like plain mashed potatoes, but people always jack up Thanksgiving mashed potatoes too. They're like, put cream cheese in there. And I'm like, settle down with the mashed potatoes. Just, I don't know. And this is a great, like, my family could never cook the freaking turkey because something always went wrong. Like, the turkey was never ready. So, and then we weren't allowed to eat because supposedly you're going to have this big meal. But then we wouldn't eat until like 10:30, 11:30
Yeah.
at night. And everyone was like ready to murder each other because you're so hungry. And we would like eat while you're reheating stuff because the stupid turkey didn't cook. And by the time you sat down, everyone's like, we don't even care. Like one
Yeah.
time someone dropped the turkey in the street.
Oh my.
Because
Did
our
they
turkey.
play 3-second rule?
Okay, I'll tell you the whole story. The turkey we were cooking didn't cook. So the people we invited over said, well, we have made a little turkey so we could have some leftovers at home. We could send the kids to go get it. And they went and got it. And when they got out of the car, they held the turkey up like the roasting pan up, and they're like, we got it, successful. And then dropped it. And everyone went, oh, pick it up.
Ew.
And we ate that road turkey. And we liked it. Yeah. I mean, it was like, and like the first year after my mom died, my brother and I were at Thanksgiving, and the person who's making the turkey pulls it out of the oven, and somehow the turkey and pan just falls all to the floor.
Oh no.
Like ruined. And my brother and I were like, oh, our mom's here. Happy Thanksgiving, Mom. Like, we loved it because we're like, turkey's ruined. It is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, my mom, when she cooks the turkey, there's generally something like that where it's like, why is the button not popping out? Like, I don't know what's happening. And like 3 hours later, we're like, turkey ready yet?
One year, my mom bought a new oven. She's like, maybe it's the oven. Bought a new one. And we're like, did you defrost this turkey? Is it frozen? Is that the problem? I don't know. And it was like a fun tradition though, because like every year you would just wait for the call because there would always be a phone call. Well, there's no turkey. And we're like, yeah, we know. We planned for that.
I have my McRib. I'm fine.
I know. And one year she's like, the best. This is my favorite one when she goes, so my brother went over and like helped her prepare the turkey, and he put it in the fridge. And she had like the fridge on top, and my mom was pretty short. He put the turkey in the top shelf, and my mom couldn't reach it. So she's like, I couldn't reach the turkey and get it out to get it in the oven.
Oh
I
my
was like,
goodness.
that's awesome, because it didn't even occur to him. He's like, it'll fit here.
Oh my goodness. Ham. No, ham is evil.
Just buy him. We started doing fondue.
Wow.
Yeah, that we could do. Cook
Put that
turkey.
tail away.
Bring the tail over here.
He's whapping me in the eye.
All right, keep the tail to yourself. See, I'd be scared to deep fry a turkey.
Those things scare me.
I think it's terrifying.
Yep.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Mousie's gonna do it because, fire and stuff.
Like, make sure it's far away from buildings. Do you want to see the green? made yesterday.
Teresa's showing us her whole dinner. You should really be here. And I don't want to pressure you or anything, but we got Mousy.
Teresa, you should start an Instagram. I'm over there. I don't do anything on Instagram. Dude, I would be furious, Mousy, if I lived next door to you and you were deep frying. I would also be terrified. Like, that much boiling oil is incredibly frightening to me.
Yeah. And then you drop this thing into, I mean, not that you drop it, but.
I mean, I would have like a broom handle and I would have that turkey suspended from the broom handle and be like,
then,
you know, at least like one person on each side of the handle. At least we could be that far away. I would never get close to that oil.
Yep. That's the first time you made it? Oh my goodness.
Teresa's just a good cook.
She is.
Teresa, have you tried making homemade Oreos? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I hope you're doing it outside. That'd be crazy inside.
Oh, that certainly would burn your house down. And the amount of, I mean, people would pass out from that. That would absolutely ruin your house. You know, like that would
smell so gross.
It would put a film on the walls.
Yeah.
And like all your soft goods.
Oh, ruined. It wasn't for us. It was for Teresa. Mousy just wanted to see the food.
I probably could make homemade Oreos. I bet there's a little cookie press that you can like even push your like wafer part into for the Oreo stamp. I bet they sell that.
Huh.
I mean, it's Oreo. Come on. They're selling like, they're out of control, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Although I do appreciate a company. This is where we'll end it because I do appreciate this. When a company figures out how to use the scraps from their manufacturing line, like how Oreo sells Oreo pieces.
Yeah.
And they even sell like big pieces, smaller pieces. I'm like, someone walked through that manufacturing plant and was like, you guys are just throwing this out. You know, you can bag it up and people will buy that crap.
Oh, that looks so good.
And like spice cakes, you know, that's just the dust and like leftovers from all the other cake mix.
What?
Yep, that's a fact.
Well, I don't use cake mix, so.
I thought that was fat. Like my mom's best friend worked at Pillsbury or Dunkin' Hines, one of those places.
That's
and she
crazy.
goes, yeah, it's all this stuff like left in the machine. And then they just like mix it all together. Spice cake.
What greens are those, Teresa? What kind of greens? That doesn't make sense that spice cake is.
I mean, add a little cinnamon.
Like, where would you get the collard and turnips? Okay. Where would you get like the, you know, if you just took a little chocolate, a little vanilla, a little
yellow cake, a little
yellow cake, where would you get like the allspice and kind of thing, nutmeg and.
Well, there you actually add the allspice and the nutmeg.
Oh, okay. So they're just using.
But for like the, you know, instead of being like, 800 pounds of flour.
Okay.
They just use like all the leftover crap from all the other batches they made that day.
Teresa, where did you learn to cook?
This is Cassandra.
Did Cassandra post pictures too?
She said, I just joined in my cooking pics.
Oh, there's hers. What, you didn't put them in the air fryer?
You know how I hate the air fryer?
Yeah.
I hate it even more now
Why?
because I tried to use it the other day. It was a fail.
What
And
did you try
the
to cook?
salmon.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't really know what you can do differently though. Like you season your food, put it in there, air blows around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that dumb basket. This was my real issue. I mean, the meal, it was fine. Was it worth using the air fryer? No.
How long did you cook it?
Oh, I don't remember.
And I think I don't know. I mean, I don't have experience with air fryers, but it would depend on how high that depending, I don't know, if they put it on a real high heat, that would probably dry out that salmon. So,
Well, a friend of mine swears by it, and she's like, try salmon. You know, like the air fryer lovers like keep trying to convince you, and I'm like, I'll give it a
yeah.
whirl. Although I feel like salmon was too expensive of a whirl. I'm like,
Yeah.
so then it like you're annoyed because I'm like, this could have been delicious.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was fine, but it didn't
It
like
wasn't,
it
yeah.
didn't win me over. And I'm not like, I want to make salmon every night in my air fryer. And then I took that little basket out and put it in my kitchen sink, and I sprayed like Dawn Power Wash on it and came back later
Uh,
to and I had some other like Potter pan, washed it, and I set the air fryer basket on the counter next to the sink. This is my fault, but I'm blaming the air fryer. And I did not set it like securely enough on the counter. So while I was washing dishes, it fell off and it had just enough water and soap in it to like splash all over the kitchen.
oh.
Like, and I turned around and did that. No, no, thank you. I just like turned back around and just finished washing dishes. I'm like, I can't handle that right now. That stupid air fryer. I hate you, air fryer. And I blame the air fryer.
Like, there's part of me that wants to get an air fryer for the convenience,
It's
but
not convenient. It's
yeah,
not.
see, that's the thing. That was my thing too when I got the Instapot. It's like, oh, I want this for the convenience. And I'm like, when the whole pressure up and pressure down time, it's like, I mean, I guess like if you're talking about a soup that needs to simmer, for 4 hours, okay, that's convenient. But for some things, it's like this, mm, I don't know. I could, put on my crock pot for half a day on Saturday and get on with doing chores, and that's more convenient than sticking around waiting for this thing.
Yes. You will hate the air fryer then because it saves you no time. And I think
And
it's more of a pain to clean than
yeah,
just like baking. Like if I had just baked that salmon in the oven, you put a little piece of parchment paper down
yeah,
in your pan, put your
yeah,
citrus or whatever,
yeah,
put your salmon, bake it, pull it out. Essentially, the pan you cooked in is clean. I mean, you still have to
yeah,
wash it, but not with any effort. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
but
Well,
the
and the
air
other
fryer
thing,
basket is like washing a cheese grater.
yeah. And the other thing that I'm trying to do is get rid of a lot of stuff. Like, not just in the kitchen, but that's a big one where I have so much stuff that, I mean, I'm not like a hoarder or anything, but I look around and
No,
we all do. We accumulate all this stuff, and it's like most of the stuff we're like, "Oh, that's cool," and we get it and we use it twice, and then we don't use it anymore. And I
well, and you're like, how did I end up with 15 cookie sheets? You use the
yes.
same cookie sheet every time.
Yeah, and when I used to bake all the time and actually had a side hustle as a cupcake baker, like, yes, I used all that stuff. I don't use it anymore, and I'm probably not going to. So, like, I want to get down to where I have like almost nothing on my kitchen counters. Like, so the thought of bringing in this air
Don't bring in the
fryer,
air fryer
yeah, they're
because
huge. Like, I don't want huge. I just don't want that.
well, and
And
it's taken me years to get my kitchen to the spot like that you're describing
yeah,
because I don't know how you end up with all that stuff, but you do. Like, how do you have 3 colanders? You
yep,
just do.
yep. Well, I tell you what, I just bought one of those things from Amazon where it's a silicone thing and you attach it to the pan. So
Oh, yeah.
bye bye colanders.
I'm like, "That's awesome."
Yeah,
See, but every year I would go through and be like, "Get rid of stuff, get rid of stuff."
yep,
And, and you do have weird stuff that you keep for I don't know why.
yeah,
Like I had a nutcracker and it was my grandma's. I've never bought a bowl of nuts to crack in my life. And finally I was like, "Oh my god, get this out of the drawer. It's so
yeah,
stupid." Like, who cares that it was your grandma's? It's no
yeah,
one's using it here.
yeah,
So I like but now I have it like my cabinets are such a delight. It's so much better to cook and clean in there because it's
yeah,
so easy.
yeah.
But
And I'll
that
tell you,
dumbass air fryer, it has its own cabinet. It's so big.
yep,
It's a
yep,
hassle to clean, and you don't feel like you're ever getting it like clean
really clean.
enough.
Yeah,
And I don't know. Every time I get it out, it feels like it takes up the whole counter. I'm like, just get out of my house.
yeah,
I hate you, air
yeah.
fryer.
I ended up getting when it was like air fryer, do I get an air fryer? Ended up getting Throwback, a George Foreman, because what I really wanted an air fryer for was I don't do the chicken nuggets and the fries. Um, and no, that's not anything to those of you who are that's what you're using it for. I wanted a quick way to cook salmon, a quick way to cook a chicken breast, something like that. So
See,
it's like,
you're
you
the
know
kind
what?
of cook like me. Like I don't do the air. I never fried anything in my house
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. And my friends were telling me, but you can cook the healthy food in there too. I'm like, well, okay, so I thought about it, but I'm like, and I try, I would buy one and I'd bring it home like this thing is huge, but I couldn't even get it out of I would take it out of the box and I never even plugged it in. I'm like, I can't, no, I just can't with this. So yeah, the George Foreman, and that cooks so much faster. It's heats up faster. It'll cook on both sides, so you're like half the time, like boom. And same
Well,
thing, you can put a piece of foil down on it and you barely have to clean the thing up.
see, and what's funny is how I got my air fryers. My friend lent me hers to try it to see if because they're expensive too.
Yeah.
So she lent me hers to try it, and she's like, basically, this is a waste of an appliance. But she has grandkids, and she's like, I don't know. Once every 6 months, I let them have like crappy appetizer day, and we make like ravioli and French fries and onion rings and stuff. So she gave it to me, and I literally tried everything I could think of to cook in it to like give it a fair rating. Hated it. And I keep trying to give it back to her, and she's like, I'm in no rush. I don't really need that. So clearly she doesn't want it back. It's my air fryer now. But every time I see her, she's like, you know what? You should get a George Foreman grill.
Yep.
So I think I think it's just like two different people. And everyone's like, reheat your pizza in the air fryer. I'm like, what a freaking mess.
Yeah. I
You
can
know,
put
you
it in
can,
my microwave and it's just fine.
yeah. Or I have it like a toaster oven. I can like
Yeah.
toast,
Yeah.
put it on a piece of foil. And then you know what? I'm not washing anything.
Yep.
I have an oven. And it doesn't save you any time. That's what I thought. I thought that like my salmon would cook in like 7 minutes. I don't know why I
Yeah.
thought that.
Yeah. And see, that's one of the other reasons I just haven't taken the plunge and done it is because when I look up recipes, the other reason I wanted it was to just have something quick. And they're like, chicken breast, 15 minutes. And I'm like, no, that's just no.
Exactly.
Like, I can do my chicken breast on the George Foreman for half that time. So, no.
Right. Or I'm like, but I can just put a piece of chicken next to like a whole bunch of broccoli and like they're both cooked at the same time in my oven.
Yeah. See, I
And
used to, when I was really, maybe one day I'll tell my whole story, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But when I used to do a lot of, because I'm by myself, so I would do a lot of prep cooking on the weekend, and I would stick like 10 chicken breasts in the oven and cook them and then freeze them out as I needed them. So, you know, and you can reheat them, either on the skillet or in the microwave or whatever. Not as good in the microwave when you reheat them that way, but um, stick them in the oven. It doesn't take, depending on how thick they are, about 30 minutes. So,
see, well, and that's what I do too. I'm like, or like I'll grill a whole bunch and then like chop them up and I'm like, now I can add these to like a salad
yeah,
or whatever. Make a like Qdoba burrito but at home.
yeah.
I don't know. The air fryer is infuriating me now. Do you ever like turn on something in your house and you're like, I hate this item? Like now it just causes me fury and I'm like, I need to get rid of it. And every once in a while I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and use this again. Maybe I'm wrong about it. And then I'm like, goo, it just makes me so mad.
I don't
Like
think I have any of those.
once I turn on something, there's like no coming back. And I visually like flip the switch on that stupid air fryer and I'm like, I think too, my biggest problem was I had it on my counter for so long because my friend lent it to me.
Mm,
So I never like made a spot to put it away and I hate stuff on my counters.
yeah,
So it always felt like my kitchen was dirty or cluttered
yeah.
and it just always felt in the way. And I kept trying to give it back to her and she was like, no, 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 no. And finally when I like shoved it in a cabinet, I was like, all right, I can breathe again. But now when I open that cabinet, I'm like, the air
Yeah.
fryer
Why are you
cabinet.
here? Yeah.
I don't know. All right. I said we were ending this like 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I think that was very thorough analysis of our cookie. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
And
Chanko and I did our best.
Chanko's review was fantastic. And we may have to bring him in the future.
All righty. We'll see if we can get Velcro to help out too.
Yes, Velcro. Now I'm like sad I don't have my old cat because he would have loved it.
Aw.
Well, he had to eat a specific diet, but I always let him smell. He would be like, just let me give that a little sniff. So I would let him like smell everything. Most things he was like, I hate it. But he would have been into like smelling all the cookies. And then he would have judged us.
Aw. Well, what's a cat if it's not for judgment?
I know. I loved it.
Oh, and Chanko just arrived.
Thanks for the review, Chanko.
It's like, you're welcome.
I mean, him trying to take a like big chomp out of it.
Yeah, it was like he wanted to bite the whole thing.
It's awesome. All right, that was our best review yet. I don't know if Claire will listen to this at all or if she makes it this far, but
we'll have to see if we get the Claire seal of approval, the otter of approval.
Please leave your feedback below, Claire. And thank you for reviewing the cookie. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
And thanks for coming, everybody in chat.
Good night.
Good night.